Hello everyone, this is CJ Hannum, and I just wanted to let everyone know, while I'm not the best voice actor, of course, my voice is going to be a little off. I was recovering from a cold over the winter, so this might not be on par. But you've listened to my voice so far, so hopefully you can look past that and enjoy the next episode of my What If series. Here we go. What if Ruby was in The Land Before Time 6, The Secret of Saurus Rock, Part 1. It was a lovely night, and the gang was settled by a crackling fire that Ruby built for them. The flames danced and illuminated the dark, only adding to the camp-like vibe. Towering over the kids, Grandpa Longneck spoke in his soft and tender voice. Grandpa Longneck was a famous storyteller, and the gang were always engrossed in his tales of the past. Some of his most famous of stories were of a heroic figure who fended off vicious Sharpteeth, protecting the herd or other innocents from being slain. Hopping around Sarah, little twin three-horns, Dana and Dinah giggled. Sarah turned to them with an annoyed expression. "Will you two pipe down?" "Sorry, Auntie Sari," Dana whimpered. "Auntie Sari," Ducky giggled, freezing when Sarah glared at her next. What were you saying, Grandpa Longneck? Huh? Just when all hope seemed lost, over the horizon, the lone dinosaur appeared. There was a collective awe from all. The big Sharptooth and lone dinosaur were engaged in a battle that lasted long. The Sharptooth slashed and cut the eye of the lone dinosaur, seeming to win. But then the lone dinosaur's tail grabbed the Sharptooth's foot and toppled him over. The lone dinosaur was victorious, forcing the fierce Sharptooth to flee. A short time later, a massive earthquake shook the land, and above the ground a towering rock formation was created. And they called it Saurus Rock. And some say that there was a row of teeth around his neck, the very same teeth that belonged to the Sharptooth he defeated. Legend has it, if anything happens to Saurus Rock, bad luck will descend upon the valley. The gang cheered and wanted to hear another story, till Grandma Longneck ambled over. "Oh, Grandpa, stop filling the children's heads with nonsense. It's getting late. Time for little ones to head for the nest." Dana and Dinah yawned. "Time to say goodnight, children." The gang rose, said their goodnights, and headed for their respectable homes. Ruby and Chomper made their way along toward the secret caverns. Not that I don't enjoy a good story, but how come the Sharpteeth are always the bad guys?" "Do Sharpteeth have folk stories?" "Our stories are mostly about why the world is why it is. I suppose even we don't have good stories of Sharpteeth. Guess there never will be a good story about a Sharptooth." "Well, maybe a long time after we're not here, there will be a story about a friendly Sharptooth named Chomper." "Can't forget about the fast runner who was his best friend."
"Oh, well, here we are. Here is where we have arrived."
Ruby stood at the entrance of the caves, Chomper hanging back.
Well, good night, Chomper. Chomper, good night. And no matter what those stories say, I know not all Sharpteeth are bad."
"Thanks, Ruby. Sleep well and have really good dreams." With a small smile, Chomper went to a mound, climbing into the nest. He settled and fell asleep. During the night, his parents returned from the mysterious beyond, laying down to surround the nest. When the bright circle rose, Chomper woke up and jumped out to hug his parents, glad that they returned. "How are you, son? Everyone treating you all right?" Charity licked Chomper's face. "Fine, I like it here." "Especially because she's here." Chance nudged Charity. "Chance, he's only 8, too young to understand."
"Chomper!"
Ruby strolled out of the secret caverns and smiled up at the towering Sharpteeth, showing no fear. She cleared her throat and struggled to continue the next part.
Hello, Mr. Chance, Miss Charity. A lovely day, is it not?
Wonderful morning. Your sharp teeth is becoming clearer, Ruby. Charity smiled warmly down at Ruby. The lessons are sure paying off. Mom, can I go play with my friends? Of course. Be safe and have fun. Charity nuzzled Chomper affectionately. The pair of children laughed and were off. Out of the secret caverns, Trudy and Rodney greeted the sharp teeth. Like Ruby, Chomper taught them the language of the predators. Even Rudy and Rusty could speak both languages. With their parents behind them, Chomper and Ruby spotted their friends. Littlefoot was so excited by the tale of the lone dinosaur, he proposed a new game. It's called the Lone Dinosaur. One of us is the lone dinosaur, and the other is the Sharptooth, and the rest are the herd who needs saved. Aw, do I have to be the Sharptooth again? Chomper grew tired of always playing the bad guy.
Not necessarily. It could be someone else. As someone else it could be.
Like who? It should probably be somebody who's pretty big and pretty mean and kind of scary. Wonder who that describes. All together, and without even batting an eye, everyone looked at Sarah. Me?
Sari, Sari, Sari,
the twins cheered. Why me? Well, it's just, you're so good at pretending, Sarah. Yeah, and it's actually a compliment, Chomper put in. To be compared to a Sharptooth, that's quite an honor. Her uncertain expression changed to a smile, Sarah unable to resist being complimented by all. With a nod, she sighed. Fine, I'll be the Sharptooth. Yay! Then I can be a member of the herd. I'm going to be a fast runner. Why Chomper want to be fast runner?
Yeah, that is an interesting choice. It is.
I think we all know why. Right, let's start the game. Littlefoot changed the subject so Chomper wouldn't feel so awkward or put on the spot to answer. With a growl, Sarah chased the gang, who pretended to be scared. Littlefoot searched the area and spotted a log, wanting to make a grand, heroic entrance. Below, Sarah cornered the group, who pleaded, begged her to spare them. Never fear, the lone dinosaur is here! Whoa! Crack! Before their eyes, Littlefoot fell from the rotten log and descended till he was caught and placed safely on the ground. The dinosaur who saved him was a towering old Longneck who had a massive scar running down the side of his face. His demeanor was calm, collective, the male scanning the children over. Thanks, sir, Littlefoot panted. Who is this? Are you bothering our children? Mr. Threehorn saw the stranger among the children and ambled over quickly. Daddy, no, he saved Littlefoot. Littlefoot? Grandpa and Grandma Longneck approached next. Are you all right, little one? Grandma nuzzled Littlefoot. I'm fine, Grandma, thanks to him. Well, sir, you have our thanks, and if you wish to stay... Oh, no! With the changing of the tree stars, there's barely enough food for us. We have plenty for all, Grandma added warmly. I say we send him on his way. You sure do feel up to it, friend, the stranger retorted. Oh, well, You are welcomed here. Grandpa heard Mr. Threehorn grumble as he walked away. He's a good fellow once you get to know him. Don't know if I want to hang around that long. All chuckled except Sarah. The older Longneck, who saved Littlefoot, introduced himself as Doc, and for some reason Chomper hung back and tried to keep out of sight. Something told him that Doc wouldn't be particularly fond of seeing a Sharptooth given that scar. Among the bubbling mud pond, the smaller members hopped atop the bubbles, Chomper and Ruby standing on the sideline. I bet Doc was hurt by a Sharptooth. Maybe we do deserve to be the bad guys in the stories.
Sharpteeth are only doing what they were created to do, so no, don't ever see yourself as a bad guy, Chomper.
Guys! Littlefoot ran over and... I just figured out who Doc is. He's the lone dinosaur.
There's no mystery. He's a squinty-eyed old longneck with no friends.
No, Sarah, not a lone dinosaur. The lone dinosaur. It's him. It's really him.
Who cares? Besides, that took place a long time ago. The real lone dinosaur would be dead by now. Unless he's like a descendant or something.
I bet if you look real close at Saurus Rock, you'd see it look just like Doc.
Yeah, right. You're just being crazy.
As Sarah and Littlefoot went back and forth on their typical quarrel, Chomper and Ruby left for the secret caverns. There, Charity and Chance prepared to leave for the mysterious beyond. Through the hidden canyon they went, holding their breaths to not inhale the fruit that'd make them sick. With his parents off, Chomper and Ruby spent the rest of the day practicing Sharptooth. Oh, why did you want to learn Sharptooth, Ruby?
Because I wanted to communicate with you and your family, so that all our families would get along.
Your family seems to be the only one to give my parents a fair chance.
Don't worry. All will warm up to them eventually.
Ruby! Chomper! It was Littlefoot, Sarah by his side, holding a worried expression that was far from her usual annoyed face. Ducky, Petrie, and Spike were there too, which meant something was afoot.
Have you seen the twins? Please tell me you've seen them.
Where might they go?
Well, what were we doing last?
Sarah paced and slammed her head into a tree, the leaves fluttering down from above.
I can't remember. I'm in so much trouble. I was supposed to watch them.
Sarah, calm down. We'll find them. What were we talking about? We were talking about Saurus Rock and...
Oh no, you don't think.
To save us all time, I could always track their scent.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we have an expert tracker right here.
Chomper led the way, sniffing and picking up on the twins' scent. All groaned when the trail led toward the great wall. Again, they left the safety of the valley and entered the mysterious beyond. Farther and farther they went, Chomper lifting his head to peer around with worry. Stay close and keep quiet. Another Sharptooth is around. Chomper took a whiff, waving for them to move. Saurus Rock came into view, and Sarah gasped, for atop the head of the statue the twins played. Hurrying, Sarah scaled the rock. Petrie flew up to push the twins back from the edge to keep them from tumbling off. He did well till he was struck by Dana's tail, being knocked to the side and helpless to keep them from rolling over. Dana and Dinah screamed and fell downward. Sarah stood on a rock, Littlefoot steadying her to lean far out to grab them. The impact and motion caused the rock to crumble, and they descended on the ride of their lives. The rock tooth crashed into the ground. Somehow, Littlefoot, Sarah, and the twins were unharmed. However, the damage was done, and Saurus Rock was broken.
I'm sure the legend of it bringing bad luck is not true. Untrue the bad luck is. Well, now that we got the twins, you two are in big trouble for running off.
It was a noisy trip back to the Great Valley, Sarah giving the twins a real earful. They reached a forested area, Chomper rubbing his nose and sneezing.
Bless you.
Ugh, my nose is stuffy all of a sudden.
And we care about this because?
Well, because without my nose, I won't be able to detect. There was a roar that echoed from in the forest. The gang jumped out of their skin as a large, tan-colored Sharptooth with blue eyes stood before them, leaning down to snap at them. Running for their lives, Chomper peered back and squinted, looking the Sharptooth over. "Wait, I know her!" Chomper waved his arms, trying to get her attention. "Auntie Claire! Auntie Claire, it's me, your nephew, Chomper!" "Chomper?" She paused her attack. "Why are you hanging around with food? That's a surefire way to get killed. And why aren't you on the mysterious island?" "Well, I moved with my folks to the Great Valley, with Redclaw trying to kill me and all." "Yes, there is quite a reward for your capture. How nice. I bring you to Redclaw, and I also get to enjoy a snack." With a gasp, Chomper waved for his friends to run. Claire tried to grab Chomper, the gang taking shelter in a hollowed-out log. But it wasn't fooling Claire. She left Chomper and bent over to take up the log and toss it clear through the air. The log with the gang inside was jostled till it was jolted and landed right across the crevice. Climbing out through a hole, Ruby made sure everyone got across, breaking the bark to try and free Spike, who was stuck. Behind Claire, Chomper yanked at her tail, trying to keep her from attacking his friends. She tossed him aside with a flicker of her tail and crossed the log, leaning down to bite at Spike. In a split second, Spike was freed and flew. Littlefoot, Ruby, and Spike ran to the far side. "Push it over!" As they struggled to move the log, Chomper scampered under his aunt, distracting her till the log was about to give way. It buckled and broke, Chomper running and leaping. Littlefoot and Ruby grabbed him, helping Chomper onto solid ground. Claire was not so lucky and dropped downward, landing harshly among a plume of dust. They panted and turned to leave, Chomper offering a sorrowful look, Ruby patting his shoulder to comfort him. The gang reached the Great Valley by early evening, the twins whimpering, knowing they'd be in trouble. "Don't worry, Sarah. I'm sure your dad will never know the twins ran off," Littlefoot said encouragingly. "Twins ran away?" Mr. Topps was there as they crested the hill. "Sarah, what's this about?"
Well, they were gone, only for a little while, but we got them back."
"I'm very disappointed in you, Sarah. You wanted more responsibilities, so I gave you that. Then you lose the twins?" Sarah lowered her head. "We're going home right now." As Sarah left, Petrie shook his head. "Oh, that's just bad luck."
"Yeah, if the legend is true, we'll have bad luck, then the entire Great Valley. And maybe even the whole dinosaur universe will have bad luck. Yep, yep, yep."
"Oh no, what if she's right?"
"Oh, Littlefoot, there's no such thing as bad luck. Bad luck there is not."
"Ruby, there you are."
"Hip, how did he find me?"
"Bad luck, I suppose," Chomper quipped.
"We need to go. Going is where we should be, Chomper."
Having to run, Ruby stumbled and endured a brief interaction with Hip. Perhaps the legend of Saurus rock breaking and bringing bad luck into the valley was true.